From RG car to the British Parliament, the rage, the frustration, the anger, the emotions don't seem to die down. And why should it? Because here, just outside the British Parliament, are so many female doctors, women, who have come out on a working day to protest against what has happened in Kolkata, what is happening every day in India, and also not just to demand justice, but also perhaps have those constructive conversations on how to have strategy solutions in place to make sure women are safe, not for a day, not only at workplace, but beyond. And to talk about this particular protest that has been happening, I'm going to go across to Deepthi first. And as I introduce Deepthi and some other doctors who've gathered here, please see what's happening here just outside the British Parliament. Here are tea lights being lit up, a candlelight protest, a peaceful protest that's underway. What are you trying to form or write?
We are writing justice. And we are doing with the tea lights so that it is more vibrant and everybody can see what we are asking for. Yes.
As vocal as can be, light is the hope that should be there. Deepthi, when I texted you this afternoon trying to find out, you said you're very emotional, hurt, angry all at once. Of course, you're a working professional, you're a doctor with the NHS, but you're also a woman and a human being. What is your state of mind?
I think so. We were anguished for the first couple of days, but it has changed into quite a lot into anger now. And as the news is coming every day from Kolkata, I think so this anger is getting stronger and stronger. I think we should utilize and channelize this anger in the right direction.
Perfect.
And this is the time now that we shouldn't be silent, because if we are silent today, then there's nobody to speak for us tomorrow.
Yes.
So we should raise the voice, utilize this anger which has created, people have joined of their own will. Nobody has been told to come.
Yeah.
They have come, they have contacted me. They're contacting me from all parts of the world actually. Yesterday, students from USA contacted that they wanted to start a similar movement, what we are doing here in UK. And they were, I think that...
And who are you? Tell me a little bit about this organization and body.
So we are a group of women doctors, which we had actually formed an organization called Medicos Charity, Medicos Women Charity Organization. But that was formed mainly for happy occasions, for happy events. And we do quite a lot of events. But it's also about women empowerment. It's also about, putting the right words in the right places, so
having
that
the right conversations.
Absolutely. And I think so this is the first time we'll ever, and hopefully the last time I'll ever be in a situation where we need to raise voice for our fraternity back home.
And before I let you go, what is happening today? And as we talk, you said there are many protests happening across the UK. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so today, this one is the London group. And I think this will probably be the largest group today. Manchester, again, we are expecting about 100, 150 turning up. Birmingham, same amount. Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle, all the Leicester. I think so we have 16 cities have joined. And I found it most difficult to find a contact in Dublin, and we managed to get the contact, and they too are joining.
So these are all working professionals on a weekday who are protesting miles and miles away from Kolkata.
Yes.
Sharing the same sentiment of seeking justice, of seeking answers, at least understanding what exactly happened with this young 31-year-old, and hopefully having those meaningful conversations for better safety in a sustainable way.
I think so. That is the hope.
Yeah.
That's hope we live in.
Thank you. I'll come to you because it's great to see men joining this protest as well. And Amit Navik, who's my colleague here, is also getting us pictures of this protest that is happening just outside the British Parliament, the place where where democracy began, the place where conversations begin, the place where dissent begins, where there is place for everybody, where there is human right that's celebrated. Introduce yourself, please. What do you do?
So I'm Dr. Tina Dattagupta, one of the doctors from Kolkata as well. I have studied in another state medical college in the city, and I'm working for the last 15 years in NHS. So I really don't know what to say. I have lost words to condemn this heinous act. What I can say today is we are very disheartened to see our city of joy turning into city of sorrow. And we have come here to show our solidarity that we are on the same platform to protest and want justice for this 31 years old, our junior colleague.
Yeah,
That's what I want to
Thank
say.
you. Thank you for joining. What about yourself? Introduce yourself, please.
Oh, I'm Chuma Saduka. I'm a professor at the University of Surrey. I'm deeply shocked, and I have come here as a mother to show tribute and for justice.
Is it? Is there something? Is there something that we are all seeking together beyond? Of course, we need justice, and as soon as possible. But what else are you seeking? What is your heart seeking at the moment?
For me, it's across, just not because this is a justice for a lady who something's happened, but in general, can you see the women across? It's not only in India, it's across all countries where they are not treated as they should be. I feel sometimes when I see all these incidents, we are basically becoming regressive as a society. We're trying to tell women what to do and what not to do. We're never telling the boys what should they do and should they not do. So it's basically we're trying to go back to the dark ages by telling you, okay, don't go out at night, you need a male chaperone, and you sort of can't do this kind of work, you have to be restricted to one type of work. So this is becoming quite, we're just going in the opposite direction, I feel.
Yes, at a time when we are speaking of development, progress, just more and more people gaining jobs, etc. Here, just after this incident at RG Car, people have had to change plans. Young girls who were traveling for work have had to change plans, not just in India, but here in the UK. People are so shaken and are shuddering at the details of this case.
Absolutely. It's so scary and gut-wrenching, the whole incident. What we want is thorough investigation and bring the criminals to the light and punish them appropriately, and for future, so that these things don't keep happening, there should be proper infrastructural arrangements for girls, ladies, not only who are doctors on call, but girls on the street, ladies on the street. Everyone should have enough protection so that these things do not repeat again, because we had quite a few already.
We've had a lot. Here is a young 18-year-old. I'm going to go across. Even as this is beautifully lit up, it says justice. This is a group of working professionals, mainly women of various backgrounds. There are also men, and there is, of course, the statue of Mahatma Gandhi just opposite the British Parliament. This is a very symbolic protest that is happening, a peaceful protest being led by doctors of the NHS. Deepti Jain messaged me and said that I'm expecting 30 people, and it turns out that there are more than 70 people here, most wearing whites, quite symbolic. And I was going to come to you. You're 18 years old, and you were born here in the UK, were you? Tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what brings you here.
Yeah, I'm a student, and that's why it's quite scary, because the girl, the doctor, she was just a student herself. And so I'm 18 and I'm here because I'm passionate, and I want to advocate for women's rights. And
Do you feel safe in the UK?
I feel safe in the UK, and I feel quite privileged that I'm here. But women's safety, it shouldn't be a privilege.
Yes.
It shouldn't be a privilege.
It shouldn't be a privilege.
And women in Kolkata, over the world, they shouldn't, feel safe. They should feel safe to be able to go to work, to be able to go to school.
Yes. And in this century, in this day and age, women should not have to protest outside the parliament, light candles, seeking justice or seeking human rights. Anybody here, or can I come across here to quickly get...
Not just doctors who are protesting,
Yes.
but there are engineers and other profession as well. So that's the main thing. That is, this is, although it's happened to a doctor, but what's important is it can happen to anybody. And what we are wanting is the safety of women who work. And that's important. So it's not just doctors here. We have everybody from women from all profession is here. We've got business women. Everybody's here.
That should be our basic right.
This is a poem written by my 14-year-old. He's a boy, but he wanted to just tell people how he feels being on the...
Read a bit of it for us, please.
I will, actually. Let us hold hands and scream. We are aggrieved, we are agonized. We need to let the stream off, which will flow in tears maximized. We are so bruised in heart and mind, we can only scream in silence. The fingers are pointed at my kind. They say, you are a man, you don't respect. This is not real. I shrink and shrivel. I'm no different. I'm only a human. I'm a man, my heart too bleeds. I too condemn such inhuman deeds. Let us all join hands for this vigil. Together we will make this world jiggle.
Beautiful, beautiful. A 14-year-old boy writes that. Tell me...
Yes, sorry.
Sorry, I was trying to ask, she very rightly said that women, wherever they work, should be safe. And I'm going a step beyond and saying women should be safe, period. Whether at workplace or at home or in the neighborhood or at a park, whatever time of the day, whichever part of the world. And so this conversation, which is trying to... This conversation, which I'm hoping will direct us collectively as talented working professionals towards solutions, sustainable solutions, and how one particular sector, either the government or the police, wouldn't be able to achieve. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. It should be one of our basic rights as women. So it should not be safety for women. Why safety for women separately? It should come as our right. My daughter, she was born here. So for her, it's still a very foreign thing to think that we are protesting here because somebody got brutally killed and murdered in India. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in other countries. Of course, it does happen in other countries, but it is happening very frequently. So the government, I think everybody should be answerable that something is going on, something is going wrong, terribly wrong, which can be, I'm sure, if everybody puts in some effort, it can be changed.
Sure, thank you. Solutions, sustainable solutions. Anybody? Any thoughts on how India can come together, or the world perhaps can come together to make this a safer environment for women?
Yeah, we know when the women are becoming teenager or they are becoming girls, their mother teaches them about the periods and all.
Yeah.
So I think mothers should teach their boy as well that what rape is.
Yes.
That will change our society,
Yeah.
I think.
So inculcate more inclusive parenting. Okay, great.
I think two things. I think the problem that we are facing right now, it is about our society. It's a very deep-rooted problem that we have in the society, very much prevalent in India, but it happens everywhere. But I think it is about how our sexism is so much prevalent in India. When in a family, a girl says her opinion, the father or the brother will shut her off and basically say, your opinion doesn't matter. If she is financially independent and she is a working professional, maybe they will listen to her, but they will not really pay attention to her. So you see sexism every day, in the Indian society.
Yeah.
And I think the second thing is about, what I see in UK, which is really good, is about sex education. Sex education starts from very early age in school. So I have two boys, they can speak about periods and menstruation openly, and they know the whole biological thing. So they think more of it as a biological challenge. When I'm going through periods, they come and support me. They give me a hot water bag because they know I'm in pain. So I think this is much more deep-rooted problem. It is about mindset change that we need to do.
So a more sensitive form of parenting.
Yeah, empowering the conversations. I think, equally, traditionally we think that, women have to take the step back.
Take the back seat.
Back seat. But I think what I'm seeing here, and it's equal. The parents talk equally with girls and boys. I think that equality needs to reflect in the conversation from a very early age, when we still have time.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Sorry for jumping in.
Dr.
I was just
Dr. Mamata.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was just thinking about it as well. So maybe sex education should be made compulsory from a very early stage, both women and men, well, girls and boys, so that they have a much more know-how about the thing. And but in this particular instance, as we all know, that it is not exactly the rape which is the main focus here. It is a rotten system which really needs to be completely refurbished, and the whole structure needs to be completely metamorphosed into something which is much more meaningful.
Yeah. Kolkata being the city, arguably, where Ma Durga, as they say, is the most celebrated as opposed to anywhere else in the world, as opposed to any other form of worship and celebration. Your thoughts, Dr. Mamata, on just how quickly things have changed and the developments that have taken place?
As regards to what?
As regards to the city of joy, as somebody referred to Kolkata.
Yeah, so I went to college in medical college in Kolkata. So we always thought about it as a safe haven. And as one of my friends was saying, like sometimes when we were late in the night, our parents used to tell us, like, stay within the safe campus, so that you have got the maximum security there. And from there to kind of like to come to this stage, it is absolutely unbelievable. So there's a unholy nexus. Yes, there was to some extent, but they were like, we used to hear about it, but to see it in its raw form like this, we could never have imagined at that time. So things have drastically deteriorated. Humanity has kind of evaporated, really.
I saw in the note that Deepthi sent, there was a line which said that the conscience is corroded.
Yeah, I wrote that because I feel like there is a terrible lack of humanity, and our conscience, we need to wake up, really. We need to wake up, we need to take notice. And if this is not waking up our conscience, what will ever? And we are in utter despair, as Dipti would say. So we had a lot of interest in holding this vigil today, but like we are just going to the, as I said, to the trough and the dare of despair, really, now, like whether anything is going to come out of it. And we are honestly begging that justice is meted in this case.
Of course. Can I just quickly thank
you.
Yes.
Want a picture with. No,
Yes,
I don't want to say
yes, of course. What you're watching at the moment are pictures from the silent protest that is happening just outside the British Parliament, where candle has been lit, justice is being sought. These are women, these are professionals, many who are doctors, many who are working professionals. There are men who have joined holding candle lights, and I'm going to just go across to certain men. Do you have a solution to share?
I feel whatever other people have spoken about, we should set an example by seeking justice and a punishment to the person or to the group who has done this, because that will set an example that, if someone even dare, in spite of whatever the parenting and all, if someone dare to do such a heinous crime, the rape and the murder, people will shiver to do it again. And I think the punishment is very important for the person to be given.
That you think would be one of the ways to have a solution to this problem and patriarchal society. So these are conversations that happen through the silent protest, and I'm going to slowly go across further up to a lot of people who are waiting to speak, closer to the Mahatma statue, as you can see here in the British Parliament, just outside the British Parliament, men who have joined. And I'm going to show you pictures of these are working professionals, and it takes a lot to come to central London. It's expensive, it's a cumbersome task, but people are here because her voice matters, and they feel that by being here and by being present, it will make a difference. Is that what you feel?
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have come over here from Hounslow. We all are working, but still we manage the time to come over here just to stand by the whatever is happening in Kolkata. It's really shameful. So we are protesting it in our way because we can't reach there, but we are here. But still we are with them. So
And I'm sure you have reached there through the various mediums, through your viewpoints. Yes, your thoughts.
See, we spoke about the social thing, but what about the legal issues? If the law was done correctly, we would not have been standing here today. So we need to think about that. Anybody can distort the law as per their convenience. That needs to change.
The intent of me coming, I'm coming all the way from Oxford. The reason as to why I come is just to prove a point. The point as to, I'm from Kolkata, and Kolkata is a city I love. And being a part of a situation where Kolkata is into sheer shame is something is very hard for me to take. To prove a point across to politicians, people around, that this is not the topic of discussion we should have about Kolkata. There's sort of beautiful memories we have about the city. Let us keep on celebrating that and to come out of this with some inclusive characters that people should possess. So that's all about it.
Thank you. Thanks for raising that, because I think this is about women's safety. It's not about a city. It happens in Kolkata, it has happened in Bangalore, it has happened in Mumbai 40 years ago, it has happened in Delhi, of course, and it happens in London, and it happens in the UK. So,
may I say one thing?
Yes.
Now you ask, what can we do?
Yes.
The first thing, in my opinion, is instead of expecting others to change, one has to change himself. The moment I start to respect and have my thing, half of the world has changed. I remember Mahatma Gandhi's thing. Don't try to change the world. First,
be the change.
If I start to respect, that's the starting point, rather than expecting the government or anything. But by the way, other thing is, the doctors are having hard time there, because I was surprised when I learned that they work 36 hours at a stretch. And this country, that had stopped long time back. And that under so much abuse, so much, I mean, why do we deserve that? We became doctors to serve humanity, and we still, that is our oath. That is what we want to do.
Yes.
But the government or other people should allow us to do it.
Yes.
Give us the safety, give us the environment in which we can serve the human. So we have to be human first.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I see singers stand with doctors, peaceful meet. Are you a singer?
Absolutely, I'm a singer.
Would you like to sing for us?
বরিশোধরা মাঝে শান্তির বাড়ি বরিশোধরা মাঝে শান্তির বাড়ি শুষ্ক হৃদয় লয়ে আছে দাঁড়াইয়ে ঊর্ধ্বমুখে নরনারী বরিশোধরা মাঝে শান্তির বাড়ি We want peace, we want justice in a proper way.
Thanks very much. Young girl, your thoughts?
I'm actually a medical student studying in England, and it's just incredibly sad to see someone in the profession as well as someone in Kolkata suffering this way. It's important to get justice for her and her family and other women who have faced similar things this way.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Somebody shared a very...
ask what can be done or something, isn't it? See, it's my personal opinion. It sounds very harsh. Only hanging, it just keep on coming in my mind. Only hanging for rapists is just not enough. It's just not enough. For me,
stricter punishment.
Strict, like whether it's like castration or something very, very brutal, so that next time, whenever people think, like men will think to do something like this, they will be, shaking. They will be shaking in fear. Other than that,
stricter punishments.
Yeah, it's very much needed.
Yes.
Very much needed.
Very much in agreement with that young lady. Desperate times call for desperate measures. These are desperate times for our society. First of all, Indian movies, Indian cinema, Bollywood or Tollywood or whatever, they should stop showing violence against women, which has become normalized. The Indian men's culture, the frustration, the sexual frustration, that all needs to be addressed. It comes from education and drastic punishment.
It has to be sustained. See, what you're doing, whenever something happens, we do this kind of a thing. It is not sustained at all. So we need to do that. We should consistently come and do that and implement the legal processes. Okay, whatever be the punishment doesn't matter. It has to be very strict, death or other, but consistency is not there. We just think about Avaya, then finished. Today it will happen. How long it will continue? That we need to check and ensure that it happens.
Indeed. And keep this voice and your thoughts coming through. Somebody suggested something very beautiful, and they said India, for the kind of talent there is in India, the different states that we have, how difficult would it be to put together these fine minds to come up with multiple layered solutions? Because no one institution can offer a complete solution to this deep-rooted problem. And so educationists, police, professionals, doctors, women, housewives, people who don't work, young girls should be offered a voice to be able to be a part of this committee to offer this solution. Any final thoughts before I wrap up? Yes.
I think mindset of people has to also change at the grassroots level. We can see that people objectify, women as, as the gentleman said, their movies and, what we see in the social media, etc. I think that has to stop at the ground level, right? And then when something like happens, everybody has to protest, right, at the beginning. And then, the justice has to be, sort of done very quickly. It cannot be like for example, you take Supreme Court hearing today, it has happened, and next hearing 6 September. Why? Why can it not happen every day? Like we see here what happened last few weeks ago. We had a fast track court, punishment quickly, everything done, right? So then people will have that, sort of fear about doing anything.
It should be a strong deterrent.
Quick punishments, a
One
punishment which is indeed a deterrent. Quick punishments, more justice.
Law and order has to be in place. Without that, it's difficult because perverts, criminals are always there,
and they're everywhere, aren't they? Yes. So I'm just going to request Amit to give us a long shot so I can show you what is happening just outside the British Parliament in central London. There are candle lights which reflect justice. There are people from different walks of life who have come here on a working day to share their thoughts just outside the British Parliament. And very symbolic indeed that here just behind is the Mahatma Gandhi. Radhika Iyer reporting from the British Parliament for NDTV.
जय हे